You may think JJK is trash, or you may think it's one of the best things ever made. It really doesn't matter, because either way, it is an objective fact that Jujutsu Kaisen absolutely dominated the last few years in terms of popularity. The story has its highs and lows, but I agree that it isn't perfect. So what was it that Gege Akutami did to somehow make JJK as unbelievably successful as it was? The answer to this lies with the characters. Satoru Gojo, Ryomen Sukuna, Yuji Itadori, all are examples of some of shonen's most popular characters that will be remembered forever because of one defining trait that put them far above so many others. And that trait is aura. Pure, undeniable aura. I mean, love it or hate it, Jujutsu Kaisen's cast are the biggest group of aura farmers I have ever laid eyes on. So, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the biggest aura farmers in all of Jujutsu Kaisen and highlighting their top aura moments, some of which you definitely would have forgotten about. And guess what? I don't think Gojo or Sukuna are the biggest aura farmers in the series, so make sure to stick around and find out who my number one spot goes to. Also, just a quick reminder that aura farming is not the same as simply having aura. You see, we esteemed Brits have a saying that perfectly encapsulates what aura farming is and how it differs from simply having aura. And that saying is being extra. Jujutsu Kaisen characters are so extra, like they really be doing too much sometimes when they should be locking in instead. But they do it simply for love of the game. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump straight into finding the biggest aura farmers in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now I have chosen and ordered who I think are the top 5 aura farmers in Jujutsu Kaisen, which I will be diving into later on in the video. But for now, we're going to explore what I like to call the special grade aura farmers, who aren't quite in the top 5, but are almost definitely in the top 10. And unlike the top 5, I haven't ordered these characters. I will leave that for you guys to decide and tell me in the comments below. Let's start things off with one of my personal favorite characters, Yuki Tsukumo. Now, she has such little screen time, but dear god, she had some serious big willy energy, and she knew it. Like, this ain't a gooning channel or anything, but god damn, I would let that woman do things to me. The moment that earned her a spot in this video was that one time that she scared the living crap out of Kenjaku. She had that man's knees shaking, and not in a good way. Seriously, being able to out-freak Kenjaku is no laughing matter. Yuki was absolutely shredded by his domain to the point where he thought the fight was over. But bro really got right back up and immediately started throwing hands, all while refusing to heal herself. I mean, look at how irritated Kenjaku was that she just wasn't healing. And then she put on an All Might level smile just to respond with, nah, didn't feel like it. I mean, that is so extra. Like, there's really no need for all that. Just heal, bro. It literally takes 2 seconds. Why are you flexing on him like that? God, that must have been so embarrassing for Kenjaku. Definitely a negative aura moment from him. And next up is the main character himself, Yuji Itadori. Now, the reason he isn't in the top 5 is because he isn't as extra as some of the others. He has crazy amounts of aura, but most of it is just natural because he's the GOAT. But occasionally, he does farm that shit like crazy. For example, why is bro biting his arm? Like, people were deadass making theories about what he was doing here, thinking he had some secret techers, but nah, bro was really just pulling that pose because he felt like it, which is the definition of aura farming, and successful aura farming at that, because goddamn does he look cool doing it. Seriously though, Yuji, I don't think Yuta wants his gauntlets covered in your freaky ass saliva, buddy. Oh, and this guy also just be hitting black flashes against the strongest in the verse out of pure love for the game. Like, this is meant to be luck, but Yuji seems like he just decides to land them. And bro, I get you're the main character, but you really did not need to be standing over Mahito and Sukuna like that. He literally drained them both of what little aura they had left just by standing still and existing. And don't even get me started on the whole Sukuna, I can kill you right now thing. That was just crazy. Now, Toji Fushiguro also had to be on the list because even though he's a lot like Yuji in that he just has natural aura, he is also guilty of being hella extra. Like, bro has the literal soul-splitting katana and the inverted spear of heaven, the 2 most broken curse tools in the whole JJK verse. But for some reason, when staring down the snout of a literal dragon, bro decides to pull out a Glock. Like, Toji, you okay? You good, bro? There's really just no need for that level of disrespect. Ghetto's been through enough. He doesn't need to be seeing that right now. And this guy also just poses simply because he knows how cool cool he looks while doing it. Although I can't lie, I have to give him credit for all of the Lobotomy Kaisen edits of him entering Dagon's domain. That shit was so cold. And let's not forget that this homeless and washed up old man hard glazed Gojo just to pull up on him, mid-diff him, and then say that it was a warm-up fight to help shake off the rust. If you're wondering why Maki hasn't been mentioned yet, it's because she isn't really an aura farmer. At least I don't think so. She has crazy aura, sure, but don't come for me in the comments because I'm just saying that she doesn't, necessarily go out of her way to farm it. She just has it. Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but it really wouldn't be a video about aura if we didn't take a second to glaze the man whose technique is to literally have infinite aura. Hikari might have been a bum in the final arc, but damn, this man knows how to aura farm. I mean, the dude spent half of his first Culling Games fight in base with his hands in his pockets thinking he was Killua or something. Bro also casually started dancing and grabbing his crotch while he was fighting one of the strongest sorcerers to ever live. And dude, why are you naked? Where did your clothes go? Just why? And then this guy was flying above the sea on a cursed spirit that would probably go extreme diff with Megami. And yes, Hikari, for the love of God, we see the fit. You are fighting a Heian era sorcerer, the right hand of Sukuna himself. Why are you stressed about losing your Jordans at a moment like this? I mean, you may not be his biggest fan, but there is no denying Hikari is a professional when it comes to aura farming, and he might actually be the biggest one out of all of the characters discussed so far. Right then, seems we have finally arrived at the main event. These are the top 5 aura farmers in Jujutsu Kaisen, ranked in order by yours truly. And remember, this is not my opinion. This list is an objectively correct fact. In my opinion. In the number 5 spot in our ranking, I have placed Shibuya Sukuna, aka Yujikuna, aka 15-finger Sukuna, aka the best Sukuna. Now, the reason I haven't put Megana or True Form Sukuna on the list is A, because Gojo made it impossible for Megana to actually aura farm, he was too busy getting locked in, and B, because True Form Sukuna wasn't farming anything. He wasn't really that extra, he just kind of stood there and had aura. A bit like Maki. Yujikuna though, oh yeah, that guy did not need to be doing all that in Shibuya. First of all, this guy was caught mogging Mahito twice in the series, and then he awakened in Shibuya covered with blood, holes, and literal piss, but still somehow had aura like we've never seen before. I mean, Sukuna could have just asked Jogo to fight, but nah, Sukuna had to show everyone what's up by flexing that this special great disaster curse is not capable of landing even one single hit on him. This guy had an entire episode of anime dedicated to him aura farming. Like, why is bro hitting a T-pose midair like that? There was no need. Why was he interrupting Kusakabe and Panda's grade 4 beef just to aura farm on them? And why was bro literally using his technique to ice skate on solid concrete while smiling up at Jogo's strongest attack that leveled the city? Not to mention the fact that he disrespected Jogo by frying him with his own specialty. The disrespect was just so dirty from Sukuna in Shibuya. And that doesn't even cover his fight with Maharaga, the literal strongest Shikigami in the entire verse. The TikTok edits and the OST for that fight definitely earned him some insane aura points too. It's almost like he spent this whole arc knowing we were watching. The only reason that he isn't higher on the list is because Yujikuna actually didn't have that much screen time compared to the rest. Okay, number 4 is Yuta Okkotsu, but just wait, okay? Yes, I know, I'm guilty of being a massive Yuta glazer, but please let me remind you of the purpose of this video. I'm not saying he has top 5 aura in the verse, even though he does. What I'm trying to say is that he's so unbelievably extra and farms that shit like there's no tomorrow. I mean, first of all, in the JJK Zero anime, he broke the rule of letting your opponent finish their monologue by cutting Geto off with a mahoosive black flash to the face. But his return to the main series is when he really started to get into the zone and established himself as one of the dirtiest aura farmers, well, ever. Bro pulled up to kill Yuji by jumping off the roof of a building and crushing the solid concrete highway below him. Yuta, dude, the city has seen enough destruction. You really do not need to be causing any more. Yuji, Chozo, and Naoya also shat their pants when they sensed his aura, thinking it was a creepier Gojo. Bro was back in the story for one single chapter, and his first order of business was to literally murder the main character and reclaim his title, while also saving his life and then making fun of Gojo for having no bitches. This guy then jumped into the strongest Culling Games colony and said, I alone will kill Kenjaku and I alone will secure 400 points. And to be fair, he only got 300 points, but that's literally the most points any player got in the whole game. And Yuta, dude, we have seen domains be used before, you know? Why is your domain pose so damn dramatic? No one else does it like this. And I ain't even gonna say anything about his love beam against Ryu because I can already see the angry comments. And can somebody please tell me why it was necessary for Yuta to explode through the concrete ground below Sukuna's feet for his entrance? Also, what is this dude's obsession with standing above his opponents like that? It just seems hella disrespectful, like he's looking down on them or something. Yuta then popped his domain and had a whole page dedicated to him just posing in it. The cherry on top for me though was was when he used Sukuna's own pose against him by hitting an upside down T-pose mid-air while also invading the next panel. Like, come on. But sure, minus points for being hit by the World Slash and for falling flat on his face in Gojo's body. Still though, the way he pulled up in Gojo's body through the smoke was majestic as hell. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really care if you like him or not. This dude is the definition of extra. Now, in position number 3 is a man who somehow found a way to be even more extra than my goat Yuta, and there is really nothing I can do to try and deny that. It is the man who was stated by Sukuna himself to be the very definition of a Jujutsu sorcerer. It is none other than Aoi Todo. I mean, sure, his screen time is lacking in comparison, but he makes up for that with his actions, which, let's be honest, are oftentimes well beyond extra. Like, this man is just straight up schizophrenic, actually delusional. It just goes so far beyond extra, it's unreal. Bro asks his opponent what their type is and then completely embarrasses them with his boogie woogie and 530,000 IQ. It doesn't matter who his opponent is, whether it be Hanami, Mahito, or even the King of Curses himself. Todo is simply smarter and will hold his own for his brother's sake. First of all, the whole "we are the exception" thing is one of the coolest entrances of all time and was 10 billion% unnecessary given how dangerous the situation was. Not to mention, bro literally became All Might and went plus ultra simply because he didn't want to be the only one fighting who hadn't landed a Black Flash. I mean, he knew it would do no damage, but simply wanted to do it because he could. That's beyond extra. I don't even know how to put that into words, but it's definitely the highest level of aura farming that we've seen so far. His entrance through the smoke to help Yuji fight Sukuna was also just way too cold, and the way he was using the Vibra Slap sent shivers down my spine. He definitely earns the number 3 spot due to his pure delusion and that Black Flash alone. Thank God for Mappa. Okay, I should remind you that neither Gojo or Sukuna are number 1 on this list, which of course means that the number 2 position goes to the honored one himself. Let's not even waste time with this one because I could probably make it its own separate video if I wanted to. The whole "I alone am the honored one" thing, yeah, just not necessary, Gojo. It's just bullying a homeless man at that point. You know what else was unnecessary? The purple that he used against Hanami. Also, dude, stop flexing your beautiful eyes and go help already. And I shouldn't even need to say anything about the way that he killed Hanami. Gojo, my guy, you just got unsealed from the prison realm. How are you that jacked and how are your clothes different? Make it make sense, please. Anyway, let's just jump straight to the actual juicy stuff found within Gojo versus Sukuna. First of all, why have you pulled up to the fight in this wizard-ass cloak? I mean, I know why. He did it just so that he could take it off like a Jedi does at the beginning of the fight. Secondly, why is bro suddenly creating craters in the floor with every footstep? And why is he kicking Sukuna around like a football? And why are you laughing while literally leveling the city? Bro also stood inside the domain of the strongest sorcerer in history and took the time to brag about how much better his technique is. And he also thinks he's in Hunter x Hunter or something. Also, can we talk about the fact that Gojo was drenched in blood and tanked his own purple, but somehow his fit always looks like it's been freshly dry cleaned? And there's just no way this guy actually waited for the traffic light to go green before attacking. Like, what are we even doing here, Gojo? There's no need for that. Just kill him already. I can't even complain about the red and black flash combo though. That was just cold. But then these guys started to stare down Sukuna, Maharaga, and Agito and somehow found the courage to start busting jokes. Gojo's voltage ramped up. Yep, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. But yeah, that's deadass like only 50% of the times that he be aura farming. But this video would be way too long if I showed them all, so just enjoy these ones. The only reason that he is at number 2 is because a lot of this stuff is actually warranted. Like, he does have the natural aura to back most of it up, unlike the freak who takes the number 1 spot. And that number 1 spot goes to Jujutsu Kaisen's king of aura farming himself, Kenjaku. Don't get me wrong, this guy doesn't have anywhere near the amount of natural aura that the rest of the top 5 have, but that's not what matters here. Kenjaku makes up for it by literally dedicating his entire character, his entire personality to the art of aura farming. I mean, did you see the way that he pulled up to Mahito and offered to save him? Everything this guy does just looks so majestic for no reason, even down to his most simple and irrelevant movements. The way he pulled up to fight Yuki and Chozo was just so extra, but dear God did it fool me into thinking Kenjaku is actually a cool character. Bro literally just got pounded by Yuki harder than the pounding he got from Jin, and for some reason still posed for the camera when he was healing his arms. And dude, literally no one, and I mean no one, has ever activated a domain sure hit like this. Ever. Not to mention that one time he smoothly slid his brain cap around to avoid Chozo's piercing blood at point blank range. This guy also single-handedly ruined Jujutsu Kaisen power scaling by somehow reacting to and neutralizing a literal black hole. What I want to know though is if Gojo's shirt can survive a hollow purple, hole? How the hell did Kenjaku lose his shirt from that black hole but nothing else? And why does seeing that panel of Kenjaku shirtless low-key make me question myself? So many questions. Yeah, overall, despite having way less actual aura than Gojo, he is still the biggest aura farmer in the series, simply because he doesn't actually have the aura to justify why he's moving like that so much. Anyway, hopefully this breakdown of Jujutsu Kaisen's insane level of aura farming has shown you why so many of these characters are as insanely popular as they are. And for good reason too, don't get me wrong. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please do become a member if you feel like it. Shout out to the members we already have. Feel free to join the Discord and follow me on Twitter, links below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a bit.